All right, so I do some. I don't commercially do construction work, but I do projects around the house, tiling. We've done some kitchen renos and things like that. So recently was working in one of the bathrooms and doing some tiling, and somebody recommended a laser level just to keep the tiling straight, and I thought that was a great idea. So I saw this, and while I know it's overkill for what I'm doing, it's pretty fantastic. So in the box, you have a laser module and a mounting plate. Oops. There we go. Just to talk about the case, it's super nice. So it's all hard foam cut to fit all the pieces. You've got room for two batteries, so you get two batteries with the kit. These are just lithium ion rechargeables. I think they're, yeah, lithium ion rechargeables. So you get two of those. Um, you've got a little essentially target kit to help you align whatever you're working on. And it's got magnets in it and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I haven't actually used that one yet. I've mostly just used it for lines for tiling. But then you've got a this thing's pretty cool. So this is a magnetic base, and it's got tripod screw holes on it on the bottom, so you can mount it to a tripod. And then this part you can, if I can do this one-handed, there we go. So this part you can height adjust. So then this would sit on here, like so, and this can move on this slider forward and back. So it's got a little ring here. So that moves forward and back. And then this moves it up and down. So you can really dial it in while it's sitting on the tripod. Or you can, it's got a little hanger thing. So if you're doing framing construction, you could put a nail on a far wall and fire this thing up, and it would put lines all over the place that you can follow. So that'd be really cool. So I can see lots of different job site uses and stuff like that. Like I said, I used it for some tiling work I had to do to keep the tile straight, but pretty simple to use. On the bottom, there's just a little. It is watertight. I didn't actually check if it's waterproof rating, but you just slide one of the battery packs in, close that up, and then you can turn on the laser mode. I don't know how well that is going to show up on camera. There you can see the laser in the background there. There's the vertical one. So yeah, so it's great. So it puts essentially it's got three laser modules on the top of the unit. So that means there's beams going this way, this way, this way. Like, so there's beams all over. You do have the option to turn them off, so you can cycle through the different modes. So you can turn off different lines if you need to. So if it is just kind of cluttered or there's too many lines, you can get rid of them. But yeah, when you have it turned on, it has I'll flip this, there's a little switch on the side, and it just locks the laser position. So if you go here, it's now going to, there we go. It unlocks that, and now it's going to self-level. So those lines now are leveled, which is super cool. So you can lock it. So if you need to do a weird angle and you can line up one of the lines against that angle, then you can flip it to one position closed, and it'll lock those lines in place so that they're static. So now if I wanted to put something on an angle, I could tilt it and lock it, and now I could follow that angle on the wall. But if I want it to level, I flip this and unlock it, and then I'll jiggle a little bit, set it down, and you can see it settles down and is now level. So now I can use that as a level line to lay brick, or if you were doing like chair rail on your wall, or in my case, I was doing tiling. But yeah, picture hanging, even if you needed to set up a few different pictures, you wanted them to be even across the room or something, this thing would totally be helpful for that without having to do measurements across the room and stuff like that. So yeah, lots of different uses. Like I said, the carry case, it gets mad if you start moving it around while it's leveled. and then to turn it off, you just lock it, and now the modules are locked so they can't rattle around, and you're ready to store it. So you just can pop the battery out and put it back in the safety case. So yeah, if any of your projects involve, you know, lining things up or keeping things level, this thing is fantastic. Like I said, I've used it on a couple different jobs in the bathroom when I remodeled it, and it was fantastic. So yeah, really good product. Glad to have it. Um, yeah, and very nice case.
The LasGoo laser level. Real easy to operate. Just place on a level surface or tripod and click the power button to start it. We see that it is not level right now. And there is an amber light that tells us that. Now move the slider on the side from stop to play, and the auto leveling is engaged. And we also see that the light is now green instead of amber. Just for kicks, I checked it with a bubble level, and well, it's level. Do note that if the laser level is placed more than 4 degrees from horizontal, the auto leveling function will not work, and the amber light will be on, and the lines would flash. And here's an overview of the remote. The H button toggles the horizontal line. The V1 button toggles one of the vertical lines. And V2 toggles the other vertical line. And finally, the bars icon controls the brightness. Nice and convenient.
Las GPS son el 80% del trabajo de los médicos.
Gracias.
Ya. ¿Sabes qué? Bueno,
Oye, me gusta mucho la señora Aina. Es lista, es directa y ha investigado un poco. Y creo que los melones son suyos. Me ha caído súper bien.
sí, es guay.
¡Ay, buenas noticias! Te he conseguido un nuevo contrato.
¿Han llamado los de Old Spice?
O mejor, Pensacola Speech lavado de coches y mínimo.
¿Regional?
Do you want Rosie to feed you? Come here, Rosie. Rosie, do it. Like she did this morning. Ah.
So when it's stabilized, this is green, everything's good. Once it gets off angle, it turns red and starts flashing just to warn you. So it's very, very convenient, very easy to use, and it lines up beautifully. I love it.